added the 6 pounds of ground beef to the onions and bell pepper. My mother always added fennel seed to our spaghetti growing up, so I like I like that. It gives it a different flavor. It's pretty strong. I don't really measure when I make a regular pot. I just kind of sprinkle in there. So I'm going to just probably do 2 teaspoons for this amount and see. All right, probably 3. Sometimes when I cook, I really don't measure. So for paprika, I'll just do it maybe 2 tablespoons. So if I were to do a regular pot, I'd probably do maybe half a tablespoon or something. Maybe I'll add 3. So 3. Black pepper, I would do half of a teaspoon for just one batch. So I'll probably do 2 teaspoons of black pepper. Garlic, I normally add a tablespoon. So for this one that I'm tripling, I'll probably just do 4. We love our garlic. So a tablespoon of, we use pink Himalayan salt. I grew basil in the summer and then I dried it. I just hung it up and let it dry for months and months and months, and then I just crushed it up and put it in a little jar. So I'm going to do a little bit of basil. Actually, probably need to label my stuff. I think this is the basil. Hold on. I've done so much. Okay, so this is the basil. I think this is parsley. I love fresh herbs. So good. I'm just going to put a few pinches in there. I get this, well, I normally don't get it. I think we used it one time before. We get it from Sam's Club. It has some herbs and spices in it just for spaghetti. So I thought I'd try it again. It's been a very long time. So if I didn't use this, I would just use Italian herb seasoning. This has like dried onion, red pepper flakes, parsley, basil, and again, some Italian. So I'll probably add at least 6 tablespoons. I'll give that a stir and see. That is very strong. So for new canning people out there, don't be intimidated to try something new. I love canning, which I grew up canning, so it's like second nature to me. I can a lot of things like butter that are not usually in the safe guidelines, but we've been doing it for a while and we haven't had any trouble. If you're new, just learning the basics, you'll start to really enjoy it. Meats typically take a very long time to can. So like we have ground beef in this, so it's going to have to pressure can for 90 minutes for quarts and then 75 minutes for pints. So I'm trying to just stir that really good to incorporate all of the seasonings. Kind of hard to. I think I might add 3 more tablespoons of that seasoning. It's nothing better than coming home and then just going to your pantry and having a quick meal. I mean, to me, it is definitely worth canning. Okay, so this past summer, me, my sister-in-law, mother-in-law, the whole family, Jeremy's side of the family, we got tomatoes and canned so many. We put herbs from the garden in here. So I think I have rosemary and basil. So I have 6 of these. I'm just going to add. If you didn't have, of course, home canned, you can just get, I'm sure they have like Italian style tomatoes that you can purchase. I just love fresh homegrown tomatoes. Now, if you do not have a big yard where you are not able to can, what we sometimes like to do if we don't have enough produce to can or it just didn't work out, nothing grew, we go to our local farmer's market or a farm, and that's where we got these tomatoes. I can't remember exactly where they got it, but we always like doing that, especially like I said, if you don't have enough room or you just nothing really grew, because you do want to stock up for your family. You want to have good quality and you like to support farmers, so there's no shame in that. So don't let that be an excuse. Oh, I can't can because I don't have, the capability. You can always do farmers market and local farms. So I'm just going to add some tomato sauce. This is a big 13 ounce. And then I have a 13 ounce crushed tomato. And that is literally it. Like I said, this is very basic. I know some people might add sugar. Some people might add a little bit of really fine chopped carrots because it kind of balances, gives it that little bit of sweetness. But for me, I don't add any sugar or anything like that. So I'm just going to let this come to a simmer, let everything incorporate, and then I'm going to jar it up and then we're going to can it. Okay, so that's 6 pounds of ground beef made 2, 4, 6, 7 quarts. So another thing I wanted to share, if you are new to canning, when you want to make sure, of course, you sterilize your jars and your lids. I know that bottle came out and said there are lids you don't have to boil anymore, but what I like to do is put your jars and your lids in the dishwasher to sanitize and wash before I can. And also, when you fill your jars, I don't like to go above this line. And then you want to make sure you have all of the air out. Like, you put the knife. It's not so much important for more liquid stuff, but if you were doing like green beans or pickles, you want to make sure to get, some people you like to use a chopstick down in the jar, just make sure there's no air bubbles. Then I always have a cloth with vinegar and I really wipe the rim because your jars will not seal properly if there's any food debris or sauce or something like that on the rim of the jar. And then you want to finger tighten, which means you don't want to just sit here and just, do like that. Now I can't get it up. So you just put the ring on and one time. That's it. So I have 15 minutes left on the chili. When they come out, another good tip, when you're done with your canning, you turn it off the heat off and you want to move it to the other side of the stove. And you're going to have to let that, you're going to look at your gauge and you're going to make sure that the gauge goes all the way down to 0 before you even try to attempt to open it. For me, I still, after it hits 0, I let it sit for 30 minutes. I even let it sit overnight sometimes, especially if it's getting late and I don't want to mess with it. It's not going to hurt anything to leave it in. The thing about you opening it up too soon is you could possibly get siphoning. When you move the hot jars and it's bubbling so hot and you put it on the counter, you can have jars bust or something like that. So I know I still have to do one more round of canning, but I did all of this work, so I want to make sure I don't bust any jars. So yes, just let it cool down, wait extra 30 minutes to an hour, take all of your jars out. I put some paper, like paper towels, or you can do some towels on your counter. You just don't want to put hot jars completely on cold granite or something like that, because it can bust as well. Also, another tip, I'm sure most people know, but once we ground or brown the ground beef, we try to get rid of a lot of the grease. Once that cools down, you can either dump it in the woods or in your trash can. You definitely do not want to put it down the sink, because that will really mess up your plumbing. And that's basically it. I just want you, hopefully I inspire somebody to can that. If you're wanting to can, if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to assist you. I know that Ball has good pressure canning guides. You can order some of their books on Amazon. And again, if you need anything, or if you want to see something that I can that you would like to learn, like today is Saturday, we did spaghetti, taco soup, and chili. So once you get used to canning, it's really not that hard. And then when you see some meats on sale like we do, it's a really good opportunity to can. And that way, if you become sick, your family has good meals. They can just go to the pantry and boil some noodles and have spaghetti, or just warm up some soup. So that's why we do it. And with the prices going up every day, it doesn't hurt to preserve in a different way, because, if your power goes out, then you don't have to worry about all the meat in your freezer. So happy canning, and let me know if you have any questions.